We talked it through quite extensively here and decided that a really great side benefit, if not the sole benefit, for something like this would be to at least try to change the tone and tenor of the discussion. Try to get people to talk about other pragmatic solutions rather than just one certain way of going. And that's when the idea of the Utah Compact came together. That really originated with us here at the Chamber.
So tell people what it is, because I think many of the listeners.
Yeah, it's essentially, we sort of thought of Magna Carta, sort of a compact of principles that we would, as a chamber or as a broader community, be willing to support legislation if it adhered to these certain sets of principles. So we set forth these principles, things like don't divide families, don't hurt the economy. It's still a federal issue at the end of the day. And there's several of those, and I'd be glad to send that out to everybody. I'll send it to tomorrow, and then you can see it.
Yeah, we should have it posted on our site. But we'll sure.
Yeah, you probably have it somewhere. But the genesis of that was sort of a way to get the discussion to focus on principles rather than specific legislation.
And how many people signed it in the long run, the compact?
Yeah, what we did is we went out and got signatures, and we got all the local church groups, community groups, business communities, business associations. We got a lot of signatories on it, and it really hit. I mean, the press really picked it up here locally and ran with it big time. So that immediately started to change the discussion.
Let me stop you and ask you a question, because in a lot of states, business folks say, well, we're negotiating behind the scenes. We don't want to go public because we think that will hurt our negotiations or hurt our stance. You know, we work with groups in a lot of states, and they say better that we don't come out publicly. Did you all have qualms and decisions and discussions about that? Do we go public or stay behind the scenes? Will it hurt our negotiating power? Did that come into the
Yeah, we did. We had, yeah. In fact, what we did is the compact, we tried to make sure that it was characterized as something that came from the broader community, not from the chamber.
Got it.
And so if you look, and I can tell this group that, but you look online or look anywhere where the genesis of this came from, you're not going to find the chamber's fingerprints on it.
Yeah. And
so we just ran the two parallel tracks, kept pushing our legislation, but also very, very strongly pushed the compact forward. Then in Utah, those of you who don't know the specific religious politics in Utah, you know that this is the headquarters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or Mormon Church. And they don't weigh in on politics very often, at least not locally. I mean, there are moral issues. You know, we all probably have heard of Prop 8 in California and so forth. They don't step up much. And so when they do, or if they do, it's big news. Well, they weren't signatories to the compact, but they came out publicly and endorsed it, which meant that you've got 70% of the population now raising their eyebrows about, oh, okay, now our church leaders like this approach, like this more pragmatic approach. How does that play into those more conservative members who have an opposite view? And that almost immediately also changed the discussion a little bit in Utah. Now, you of course, don't have that dynamic in other states, but that helped a lot, too, when the church came out and publicly supported the principles of the compact.